Whatever that Osibisa has been able to do, I think we need to take a cue out of that and add it to whatever that we want to portray, musically and things like that. So, Osibisa, bye.
Amanzeba, how did Osibisa influence your style?
The name is not Amanzeba.
It's not Amanzeba. Amanzeba. Okay, Amanzeba. Thank you. Amanzeba. How did Osibisa Band influence your genre and your style of music?
To be very, very blunt and direct, I would say that that's the reason why I'm stubbornly entrenched in originality.
Right.
Because you see, sometimes I think that our stories must be told by ourselves. So it becomes our story and not his story. To be honest, I would say that I am one of the first people, or probably the first person, who actually contemporized Malogo. Because we used to live in the area where, we have these cultural troops and all the people, and even the big bands, because we're close to Uncle King Bruce, and Ramblers had some of their musicians around our area. So the place was booming with music and trends, you understand. But I think that there's a huge cultural table set where each and every one of us must be present and present what he feels is going to advance the cause of culture and music. We normally do not appreciate music the way it should be. Because music is simply magic. It's magic. Now, assuming you just get up one morning and you had a tune in your mind and you string them together and you go and play. You see how pleasant, how captivating it is with what you as an individual have been able to put out there. It has to be original. It has to speak with you. Because if you're sitting here and they are playing Agbaja, it has to move you.
It does.
We are the only people in creation that God put the time, music in us. Some of us sometimes go off, then it means you are being a white man. You have a black man, just be constantly in time. You understand? On time. So, Osibisa, I am telling you, from that period, actually inspired almost everybody. I mean, you know how influential music is, and at a point everybody wants to be reggae musicians, everybody wants to be dancehall, everybody wants to be but hey, that's the reason why I say these gentlemen must be preserved. Because sometimes you sit and you think that, oh, we've lost hope, nothing good is going to come, because everybody is gravitating towards what they think is commercially viable. Music has become a commercial product, which shouldn't be the case. The originality itself must be able to push the stuff beyond. Do not, get influenced by other people, but the largest component of what you're putting out there must come from here. About 80 to 90% must come from here. And so that's the reason why I feel Osibisa actually tutored me, guided me to be very original. Wogbejeke, for instance, is Lakma.
Right.
This is our rhythm. You understand? I can be myself.
Right.
You understand? So Osibisa, dear Charlie, everybody has to, they keep inspiring us, because even the kids, when they play people say everything is all right. I mean, it's captivating. It cuts across. The kids love it because it sounds like nursery rhymes and stuff like that. But it's serious business, So I think most of you too, who really present musical programs, must endeavor to spread the rhythm so that the kids know that this is our own. You understand? Because otherwise, then we are finished.
And I believe that the Gen Zs are watching us right here on Rhythms Live. Today is History Experience.
For me, it was like a dream come true. This is a group that promoted African culture. And when I joined them, because we keyboard players, musicians in Ghana, played almost every Osibisa record that dropped.
Wow.
So I was at the right place at the right time. They needed a keyboard player to travel with. So I just fell in. I remember telling, oh, Mark, I have to rehearse with you. He said, no, you don't need any rehearsal. All you African musicians, you play our song, let's go.
Right.
But it was like you learn the professional way of doing music. All their music has an act. The arrangements is there. You have to know arrangements, how they play, what they do here. And they have to teach you what they do at their percussion breaks, which is very special to them. I just felt it, first time they did it. And Matunto said, the white people who don't know our rhythm, Maxi, when we did so me, Herman, Alfred, then I will take the cowbell, then somebody say 1, 2, 1, 2, you hear king, 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 king. Then Mark will wait for it, then he comes in with the maracas and they build it. And when you think they've finished, then Teddy comes in with the phantom flop.
Wow.
And I tell you, on stage, because the sound is always good, you can feel it. The tension in the room is filled with Africa. And the cowbells, the beat we are playing is not simple to them. If you work with white people, you will see that it takes them a long time before they get into, especially our 6/8. And I'm sure we all know, we've played with them, and things like you fly from one place to another place, they tell you, listen, the bus will be here 5 o'clock. So, and for sound check. By 4, people are down there waiting for the bus. So if you relax in your room, by the time everybody is in the bus, and you won't do that again. So you learn all this thing, because there, if you are late, Charlie, you spoil the show. So you have to be there all the time. And when you go, time to go on stage is very important. You have to be prepared. You have to rehearse in your own room. And if you know when you are not sharp, you have to be sharp.
Right.
And Osibisa was like that. And also, if you listen to Osibisa's song, the whole lines has high life in it, or is played with high life kind of beat, and it makes a whole lot of a difference, And for me, it was an eye opener, and I enjoyed it. Even my time they've been at their peak and they've come down a bit, but the treatment was good. You go and big people like Steve Wonders will come to the dressing room, Santana, and they know these Africans for a long time. They are like brothers, But what they did that I think we should all, emulate is them fusing African traditions. Tradition meaning the clothes we wear. I remember wherever we go shopping.
Right.
And we buy the garments that people, when you see us, you see we are kings. And I remember a place like Australia, when you go, they have this culture. If you are wearing this, your nice dress, someone will come, I like your dress. Then they will give you their bangle.
Oh, wow. Butter.
And they take your dress.
Okay. Wow.
So, yes, because it's so nice. And also they help with tourism in Ghana. When someone asks you, where did you buy that? say Ghana. Where is Ghana? You show next thing you know, they are in Ghana looking for the smoke to buy.
Sure.
So for me, that is what I would say about Osibisa. But also, like Amanziba said, we have to stick to our culture and our traditions and our music. Whatever any Ghanaian musician says, when you were growing up, your father was playing high life. So you think you are singing R&B Ama. Dabi. You see the Ama in there, yes. You are singing high life, we can hear you. And people love it. But the moment you try to copy, you sound funny, outside your territory. So I would say they should stick to, and what they've done also, like everybody is saying, where they took Ghana and Africa to. Because those days, black people were not free. We were under so much suppression. The apartheid was going on in South Africa, but they came and rubbed shoulders with the top bands. And so you see them and you say, wow, they're doing it, which means there is room there for me, like Ochama said. And so I want everybody, those who haven't seen Osibisa, and now we can get it on our phones. The young musicians, go there, listen to them. If you can use AI, it will tell you a lot about this group, and especially Tedosei, who did music arrangements at university in the UK. And so you see the arrangements are very, very spot on.
Now, speaking on the back of that, we will get to the part where Uncle Jedi was saying that they are not celebrated enough. Looking at Beautiful performance right there by Inchin Chim. Inchin Chim, thank you so much. That was quite energetic, and just as Amanziba, right? I got it correctly. Just as Amanziba has said, you guys are doing awesomely well, and you would definitely have to have a great time if you are sitting under the performance of Inchin Chim. Ladies and gentlemen, what was just played is a song titled Fire, released in 1973 by the one and only Osibisa Band. In case you just joined us, you have missed a lot, but we are not done, so you definitely will get something from the show. This is a special tribute show to the band Osibisa Band, and we have our legendaries join us in the studio as we have a discussion. We've been talking about the impact of the Osibisa Band on all these great men who have also chugged history in music in Ghana and in Africa. Now we are going to look at the evolution of high life and where we are today. An analysis of how we used to be, the changes we are having now, what can be done better. I'll start with you, Ochema. Ochema, what could be the change of the high life of what you used to know and what we are seeing now?
Yeah, as you all know, high life is our music. When you talk about high life, you talk about Ghana. You know, and high life from past generations to generations, we've got all forms of high life, you know, in music. The guitar band high life, the dance band high life, and each one being creative, trying to create, you know, something. It started like people like Kwamensa and Sam. Sam is the one that played Yaposa. You know, all of them, they played their part and go on. And we got groups like Broadway Dance Band in Takoradi, became Who Dance Band, Ramblers Dance Band. We had groups like Comets in Kumasi, Stargazers, and all that. You know, before we have the guitar bands like Nana Kwame Padu, Okuku Seku, Sikeman, all of them. But it's getting to a point that we are losing it. You know, the new generation is losing the interest in high life. For me, I always blame Gerardo Pino and the Heartbeats for messing up our music for us. Because when they came in, you know, without pop music, those days, the big bands like Who, they were using Votation amplifiers, some small amplifiers. And this group from Sierra Leone, they came with, you know, Selma, you know, amplifiers, bigger amplifiers. When they're having a sound check in Crypto Gardens, when they say hello, hello, you can hear the hello incarnation.
Quite strong.
Strong sound. So at that time, you know, people started, and they were just 5-piece. And people started going to see Who and Ramblers and all that. You see, that was the downhill for our music. You know, and now the new, generation are also doing their best to destroy it more. So that's one of the reasons why I like this group very much. They are holding forth. They're very creative. I see them do some tunes. I say, oh wow, and I encourage you guys to keep on doing it, man. So like our music now, we need more of Inchinchim. We need more of Inchinchim.
Right.
So now also, I also thank my brothers Amanziba and the Geduble and Besa, because they are also holding forth, for the high life to stay alive. In fact, I just produced an album who will come out later.
Okay. Do you have a date yet?
Maybe August or something like that, and that is the same concept. And in fact, we did it at Besa Studio.
Oh.
And it's fantastic with Pat Thomas and some other guys, in it. So high life is our music, and it's going through, a lot of changes. But I can tell you that, high life is alive. It's not dead. It's very much alive.
Uncle Jay, now is high life diluted? The high life we used to listen to and what we have, has it been diluted?
Well, if we listen to what is coming today, we will say that it's been diluted in a way, because dilution is a formation of some other things, and if you want to dilute well, that means you have to understand whatever that you're trying to dilute, and we have to understand the music, the high life itself, because the high life is our heritage. When I was growing up as a kid and things like that, there were so many bands, because during that time, it was Kwame Nkrumah's time. We had something that we call work and happiness. People go to work, then from work in the afternoon, they go to afternoon jumps. And then from there, they go back to work. So it
was like that?
Yeah.
That's how the work and happiness started.
Yes.
With the in-between working hours, there's that break.
Yeah, there's that break, because there were so many clubs. There were so many bands.
Okay.
The private people had bands, private people had clubs. The government itself has bands and clubs.
Right.
Because the state hotels and catering rest houses. And if you go to Accra, Tiptoes and Lidos, Metropoles, and everywhere was saturated. So that sort of, happiness was right there.
Right.
But we need to understand something, that we are a country of different tribes. And at any time that they play music like Akwaja music, it's the only people who knows how to dance Akwaja music that will go to the dance floor and dance. If they play Kundum, it's like that. If they play Adwa, it's like that.
Yeah.
But the moment high life is played, everybody goes down to the floor.
True.
Why? Because high life derived from the music that is called Osibi.
Okay.
Osibi. That's Osibi.
Okay.
And our brothers, when they went to America, London and everything, they adopted that name and added Sa to it. That means if you want to dance Osibi, that's Osibi. Sa.
Okay.
They added to it.
Right.
So high life, it's in every music. Because all the black people that were sent away from here, they took Africa with them. If you go to South America, they're playing salsa music. The high life is in it.
Yeah.
If you go to India, the high life is in it. If you go to America, they're playing funk. It's high life in it. But we haven't taken the time to analyze all these formations of, what high life has been able to bring. But high life will never ever die and can never ever, unless you don't understand where it came from and the direction that it's going. So it's something that we need to take care of it. But, some people started and some people will have to come and continue. Our younger brothers who are here to continue and things like that, our time, we learned what is called music. The rudiments of music and the crutches and compositions and all that. The younger guys, they are not learning that. They are depending everything on the computers. And when you go and buy a computer, sound and everything is already, formatted into the computer.
Yeah.
So they take that and they will take a funky beat, or they take a salsa beat, or maybe music coming from the Caribbean, or something. Then they will try to add tree to it. And when they're adding tree to it, they think that they're doing something. I mean, it's something that you are copying. It's something that is not original coming from you. And the radio stations are adoring that. The TV stations are adoring that. Because those who are very creative, you don't hear their names. But those who are copying are the ones that you hear their names.
That's true.
And things like that. So there's something that is missing that, it gets down to my heart. That thing is called workshops.
Workshops.
And seminars. We need to do workshops.
Right.
We need to do seminars, because it's there that minds meet and we can share ideas and say, oh, that's where he started from, but that's where it's going. So you, the younger guys who have the strength to move forward, you have to have the information so that you can, move forward with it.
Great.
That is what is missing. But high life is shabumbang.
Uncle Bess, on the back of the workshops and all of that, I'll come to you because you're the president of Musica. So we'll look at the workshop and also the event as well, what we can do to celebrate Osibisa. Just as Uncle Blay has said, enough is not being done at the moment. So 2 questions in one for you.
Thank you. I think the workshops, I have started doing the workshop.
Great.
This year, we started last year. In the month of March, I got all the young musicians who are members of Musica and those who are not. I use it as a membership drive. I set a band up for them to come and rehearse with the band.
Wow.
And you should see their faces. But that's where longevity in music lies. I mean, my brother GHOne is still playing, performing around the whole world. He's doing live music, he's not miming. So these young guys rehearsed. I went in to teach them. I told them that, hey, once you have a band and you are the front man, you can do anything with the band. You can even tell the band, if I raise my little finger, it means stop. If I bring my little finger, and they did all that. And then we got Gold Coast and the National Theatre for them to perform. And I also realized that they need to know the rudiments, in music. Because if you know a little bit, when a singer is singing, I mean, as a keyboard player, I can see all the notes that you are singing. Even when you flat, I can see it should have been this one, and it helps. So that if you have a chord, you know what you can lay on top. So it's very, very, for the workshops, we are going to start, and we're also encouraging other organizations to start. So from May going, we're going to start these workshops.
Okay.
And I'm going to get people like GHOne, when a Chema is in town, the laboratory them to inspire the children, let them know that, hey, do re mi fa sol la ti do, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it can be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, that kind of a thing. So at least you can build on that. And the other question, I think a lot, that's about honoring our, isn't it? Yes. I mean, Osibisa also contributed 100,000 Ghana cedis those days, which will be about millions of cedis now, to kickstart the National Theatre.
Yes, I think Joe Tonto mentioned it when he was here. Yes.
That's right. And we have records of that, because when they came to Ghana, they realized, wow, we need a theatre like the Royal Albert Hall, in Ghana. And so they kick-started. And so I think for a start, it wouldn't be bad to put their name on, like Osibisa Theatre. And everybody who comes here, even if they don't know, they will ask, what's Osibisa? Then we can still talk about Osibisa. And also, every year we have to celebrate Osibisa. Someone suggested maybe in the month of April, because Teddy, the leader, left us in April. we can celebrate Osibisa for a week or so, playing their songs, which will never die. You know, it's very, very important. And also, we are looking at building High Life Museum so that we can start putting the right things in there. So when you go there, it's a one-stop shop.
Right.
You can find Ghanaian musicians and everything you need to know. Then when it comes to highlights, I think any smart young guy who will put the title on himself as a high life artist with a good management, with a very solid management, will make it.
True.
Will make it, because that's our identity. I remember we played in somewhere in Canada, and Taj Mahal, the blues guitarist, the moment he heard we were Ghanaians, came to our dressing room, started talking about Gare, Fufu, because he played with the Ghanaian percussionist, and high life music. But most of the young people are afraid to say they are high life musicians. Look at Burger High Life. It didn't come as burger music. It made it because it had high life with it. Look at Hip Life. It made it because when you hear Hip Life, you know it's high life. The guys were just hip, so they weren't hip life, you know. And so anything, it can be modern high life, it can be anything, but add the high life, and I tell you, you will make it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Amanzaba. Final word to the generation of today, our high life, our music, our culture.
First of all, I think music has to be across the demographic spectrum. Baby, adolescent, young and old.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it is our soul, you understand. But I think that even when I look at the lineup as we sit here, I haven't seen any young man seated here who will also espouse his impression and ideas about Osibisa. That's how you go involve them. I'm not seeing the women here. Only Kangpe men. So
I think we spoke to Hama earlier. He talked about the influence of Osibisa on his album with Obrafo, which is Peremuka. Yeah. So he also shared his part
but
of that.
What I'm saying is the person must be physically present.
Okay, here. Okay.
So that they would even be in a position to inspire the kids who are coming right after them.
True.
You understand? So is a cycle that we don't have to break. It has to keep revolving. And then that's how we can get the evolution. Look, there are basic things that structures that you lay down when you are playing high life music. And the first one prominently should be your feature cut. Put everything, just generate that one, and you see the kind of rhythms that you will be able to bring up just because of that simple.
Yeah, unfortunately we are bound by time and our time is up, but I know a lot of us has learned from this discussion the history, the impact of the Osibisa band. This has been Rhythm Live Show's edition, a special edition right here, and we gave you the tribute show which is in celebration of the Osibisa band. We had great men who have joined us here to discuss the impact of Osibisa. And ladies and gentlemen, I know that you've taken something out of this conversation, and definitely we are going to make time with you. A quick run over our guest today. We have the African master percussionist Ochirima Asante was here. We also have the president of Musica who also joined us. Bessa Simmons is also here, and then Amanzaba has also joined us, a veteran man who has also chalked his name in the history of high life in Ghana, and of course with over 30 albums to his name, Jedible Ambele is also right here. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the insights. We are so happy to have you. And yes, Uncle Bessa.
Yes, I was going to say that on Friday, this Friday, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday.
Yes.
we're having a state funeral for Teddy Osei at the forecourt of the State House. And everybody is invited.
This is for Osibisa. If this is your first time, you've heard of them and how they have impacted us. So Thursday, Friday at the forecourt of the State House, be there, learn about Ghanaian music. Let's celebrate this prolific band. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. It's about time to throw over to Inchinchim, who are ready to give us their special, one of their specials songs for us to enjoy. Inchinchim, over to you.
No condition is permanent, oh my brother. No condition is permanent. Help us sing this song, sister. Time will change. Time will change. Oh. Highlight. Time will change. Time will change. Yeah. What's it? I will free my opinion. I'm broke, and my opinion. Here, don't need of food. That's when they a bread assassin. I'm a woman. It's your number to so. On the name